English classroom. Henry, English teacher, mid-30s, passionate about language. Ava, student, 16, inquisitive and eager to learn. Noah, student, 17, laid back but observant. Henry standing at the front of the class, facing Ava and Noah. He's just finished explaining the past continuous tense.
All right, so the past continuous tense describes an action that was happening over a period of time in the past. Got it?
I think I have it, Mr. Henry. It's like when you were, explaining the tense just now. You were talking for a while, so you were talking continuously, right?
Exactly, Ava. You're catching on quickly. Now, Noah, was there anything about the past continuous that seemed confusing?
Yeah, actually. What if two actions were happening at the same time? Like, while you were talking, I was doodling in my notebook, and Ava was taking notes, right? How do we show that in the sentence?
Oh, I know. We use and to connect the two actions, right? Like, Mr. Henry was talking, and Ava was taking notes, and Noah was doodling.
Precisely. You both nailed it. The past continuous allows us to show multiple ongoing actions during the same time frame. Just remember, each action needs its own helping verb was or were.
So, it's kind of like watching a movie, right? We see different things happening on the screen at the same time, but they're all part of the same scene.
That's a great analogy, Noah. And in a way, writing a sentence using the past continuous is like filming your own mini-movie in words. You're describing what was happening moment by moment in the past.
Can we try some examples, Mr. Henry?
Absolutely. What were you both doing before I came into class today?
I was reading a book about famous scientists, and Noah was trying to beat his high score on that word game on his phone.
Yeah, and Ava kept giving me these side-eye glances because I was making too much noise, haha.
Perfect. So we can say Ava was reading about scientists and Noah was playing a word game when Mr. Henry walked in. See how the continuous tense captures the ongoing actions?
This is actually kind of fun. It feels like we're detectives, piecing together what happened in the past based on clues, like what each person was doing.
Yeah, I never thought grammar could be so interesting. Who knew talking about the past could be like watching a movie in your head?
That's the beauty of language, Noah. It's more than just rules and formulas. It's a tool for painting pictures with words and bringing the past to life. Now, who's up for some more practice with the past continuous? Let's imagine we're all time travelers and tell stories about what we were doing at different points in history.
The class erupts in excited chatter as Henry throws out prompts, and Ava and Noah eagerly jump in, weaving tales of past adventures, all thanks to the power of the past continuous tense. I hope this conversation provides a clear and engaging example of using the past continuous tense in an English classroom setting. Feel free to adjust the details and personalize the characters to fit your specific teaching style and student dynamics. English classroom, continuing from previous conversation.
All right, time to test your past continuous detective skills. Ava, you mentioned reading about scientists. Tell me, what were Marie Curie and Albert Einstein doing when they first met in 1911?
Let's see. Marie Curie was probably conducting research in her lab, diligently analyzing radioactive materials. Einstein, on the other hand, might have been scribbling away on a blackboard, formulating his theories of relativity.
Excellent deduction, Ava. Noah, your turn. You were playing a word game earlier. What were the other students in the class doing at that time?
Well, some of them were diligently studying for the upcoming test, while others were probably chatting and laughing, trying to ignore the ticking clock. And maybe someone was even sneaking a peek at their phone, hoping I wouldn't notice.
Aha, a little suspense. But remember, the past continuous focuses on actions that were ongoing, not momentary glances. Perhaps casually checking their notes would be a safer bet?
Don't worry, Mr. Henry, I won't tell anyone about your secret phone-checking habits.
My reputation is ruined. But seriously, folks, this is why the past continuous is so useful. It lets us paint a vivid picture of a scene even if we weren't actually there.
It's like we're building a time machine with words. Can we travel to another time period, Mr. Henry? Maybe the Renaissance?
Fantastic idea, Noah. Ava, imagine you're a young apprentice in Michelangelo's workshop. What were you doing while the master himself was sculpting his iconic David statue?
I bet I was mixing paints, preparing canvases, and watching in awe as Michelangelo chipped away at the marble, his chisel creating a masterpiece with every strike.
And I'll be a wandering musician, serenading the crowds in the bustling streets of Florence with my lute. Maybe I even caught a glimpse of Leonardo da Vinci sketching his Mona Lisa masterpiece.
Bravo, both of you. You've transported us right into the heart of the Renaissance with your vivid descriptions. Remember, the past continuous isn't just about grammar, it's about using language to bring history to life, to imagine ourselves walking alongside the greats and experiencing their world firsthand.
The class buzzes with excitement as students start brainstorming more time travel scenarios, eager to explore the past through the lens of the past continuous tense. This continuation builds on the previous conversation by introducing new historical settings and applying the past continuous to different scenarios. It also emphasizes the creative potential of the tense, encouraging students to use it for imaginative storytelling and transportation to different eras. Feel free to adjust the historical figures and scenarios to suit your students' interests and curriculum. You can also add more students to the conversation, creating a dynamic classroom environment where everyone participates in the time travel adventure. English classroom, continuing from previous conversation.
All right, time to switch gears. Let's leave the past behind and see how the past continuous can spice up your everyday stories. Ava, tell me, what were you doing earlier this morning before you came to school?
Let's see. I was frantically searching for my missing lucky pen, the one my grandmother gave me. I was retracing my steps, checking under the couch cushions, even rummaging through my cereal box.
Sounds like a detective movie. Noah, your turn. What were you up to this weekend?
Oh man, I was stuck at home with a bad cold. I was alternating between shivering under blankets, chugging gallons of orange juice, and playing video games until my eyes went blurry.
Sounds like a rough weekend, Noah.
But what a perfect opportunity to use the past continuous. See how it adds detail and humor to your stories? Now let's take it a step further. Imagine you both bumped into each other at the park on Saturday. What were you doing when you met?
I was trying to teach a squirrel how to do a somersault, using my lucky pen as a carrot on a stick. Of course, if I had the pen, that is.
And I was trying to impress a flock of pigeons with my bird calls, hoping they'd share their lunch with me. But sadly, my cold turned my squawks into more of a frog croak.
Fantastic. You've turned everyday activities into hilarious encounters, all thanks to the past continuous. Remember, the tense isn't just for describing historical events. It can add a touch of whimsy and absurdity to even the most mundane moments.
So, basically, the past continuous is like a magic wand? It can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary?
Exactly, Ava. It's a tool for storytelling, for injecting humor and suspense into your writing and speech. Now, let's imagine you both witnessed a strange event at the park that day. What were you doing when it happened?
I was practicing my pigeon calls, when suddenly, a bright green balloon shaped like a llama sailed through the sky, trailing rainbow streamers.
And I was just about to convince the squirrel to do a backflip, when a swarm of butterflies, all the colors of the sunset, erupted from behind the bushes.
Wow. You've just created a mini mystery with your past continuous descriptions. Now let's solve it. What was the source of these strange occurrences? Was it aliens? A magical clown? A group of eccentric artists?
The class erupts in a flurry of theories and suggestions, using their imaginations and the past continuous tense to weave a fantastical story. This continuation uses the past continuous to add a touch of humor and whimsy to everyday situations. It encourages students to use the tense creatively and collaboratively to tell stories and solve mysteries. Remember, the possibilities are endless when it comes to using the past continuous for imaginative writing and classroom activities. Feel free to adapt the prompts and themes to suit your specific class and curriculum. The key is to encourage playful exploration of the tense and its potential for storytelling and creative expression. English classroom, continuing from previous conversation.
All right, detectives, let's wrap up this past continuous adventure with a final challenge. Imagine you both stumbled upon a dusty old attic trunk filled with faded photographs and cryptic letters. What were you doing when you discovered these mysterious clues?
I was carefully dusting the attic, sunlight streaming through the cobwebbed window, when my hand brushed against the rough wood of the trunk. My curiosity sparked, I pried it open, revealing a treasure trove of secrets.
I was perched precariously on a rickety ladder, searching for a missing sock, when a loose floorboard sent me tumbling into the shadows. Landing near the trunk, I noticed its chipped paint and rusty hinges, whispering promises of forgotten stories.
Excellent. Now let's decipher those clues. Ava, you mentioned faded photographs. Who were the people pictured and what were they doing?
One snapshot showed a group of children, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, playing hide-and-seek in this very attic. Their laughter seemed to echo across the room. Another photo captured a woman, her face etched with determination, writing furiously in a leather-bound journal.
And the letters? I found one addressed to Dearest Amelia, mentioning a hidden map and a lost fortune. The date scribbled at the bottom sent shivers down my spine. It was centuries old.
You've set the stage for a thrilling adventure, folks. Using the past continuous, you've brought historical characters and lost secrets to life. Now, how will you use these clues to unravel the mystery? Will you embark on a treasure hunt, unravel a family history, or even encounter ghosts from the past?
I say we combine forces. Noah, with your detective skills, can decipher the map and code in the letters. And I, with my research skills, can dig into the family history and local archives.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe this dusty attic isn't just a forgotten corner, it's a gateway to adventure.
And that, my friends, is the true power of storytelling. You've used the past continuous not just as a grammatical tool, but as a key to unlock possibilities, both in language and in your own imaginations. Remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, keep your eyes open for clues, your minds curious, and your stories ready to be told.
The bell rings, but the students linger, buzzing with excitement about their newfound skills and the adventures that await them, armed with the magic of the past continuous tense. This final sequence provides a satisfying conclusion to the classroom adventure. It encourages collaboration, problem-solving, and creative storytelling while reinforcing the concept of the past continuous tense as a tool for unlocking the past and shaping the future. Remember, the fun doesn't have to end in the classroom. This conversation can be a jumping-off point for students to continue their own stories, write fanfiction, or even embark on research projects to learn more about the historical periods they explored. Feel free to tailor the clues and historical themes to your students' interests and curriculum. The key is to spark their curiosity and keep the door open for their imaginations to roam free. English classroom, continuing from previous conversation.
All right, detectives, the attic trunk has revealed its secrets and you formed your investigative team. But what about Amelia, the woman in the photo, and the hidden fortune mentioned in the letter? Where do you start?
The map, Noah! Remember the symbols and landmarks mentioned in the letter? We can cross-reference them with historical maps and local archives. Perhaps the crooked oak near the abandoned windmill still stands.
You're onto something, Ava. But what about the code? There's a strange cipher scribbled on the back of the map, filled with numbers and symbols. Maybe it holds the key to the location of the treasure.
Excellent deduction. Remember, the past continuous can also help us reconstruct events leading up to the present. Did Amelia leave any clues, any records of her life that might help decipher the code?
The journal. The photo showed her writing furiously. Maybe it contains hidden messages or coded entries related to the map and the treasure.
We could even analyze the ink and paper, see if the journal entries match the time frame of the map and letter. Science and history working hand in hand, Mr. Henry.
Absolutely, Noah. You're approaching this mystery with a holistic perspective, using all your skills and resources. But be careful, detectives. There might be unforeseen dangers or obstacles hiding in the past.
We'll be cautious, Mr. Henry. We won't rush headlong into danger. Perhaps the journal or local records tell us about any rival treasure hunters or guardians of the lost fortune.
And even if things get hairy, Ava's research and my street smarts, and, knowledge of video game puzzles should get us out of any sticky situation.
I have no doubt you two can handle yourselves. Just remember, communication and teamwork are your most valuable tools. Keep each other informed, share your discoveries, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
We won't, Mr. Henry. This might be just a dusty attic with forgotten secrets, but it feels like the start of something big. Maybe even an adventure worthy of a book or a movie.
Imagine it, Ava! Two teenage detectives, armed with their wits and knowledge of past continuous tense, unraveling a centuries-old mystery. We'll be legends.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you two. Now go forth, young adventurers. The past awaits and its stories are begging to be told.
The students packed their backpacks, their eyes sparkling with excitement and the thrill of the chase. They exit the classroom, not just into the hallway, but into a world where history and language have collided, and their imaginations are the compass guiding them towards an unknown, but undoubtedly exciting, future. This conclusion adds an element of intrigue and adventure to the learning experience. It encourages students to apply their knowledge of history, research, and critical thinking to solve the mystery. They can continue their investigation outside the classroom, exploring local archives, conducting interviews, and even writing their own fictional continuation of the story. Remember, the past continuous is a tool for building bridges between the past and the present, and this conversation can be the starting point for a journey of discovery that goes far beyond the classroom walls. English classroom, end of past continuous lesson.
All right, detectives, let's wrap up our past continuous adventure for today. You've proven yourselves to be masters of time travel, uncovering secrets from the past and crafting a thrilling narrative around them.
It was like stepping into a time machine, Mr. Henry. The past continuous really came alive when we were using it to bring those historical clues to life.
And it wasn't just about grammar either. We used our research skills, our critical thinking, and even a little bit of imagination to piece together the puzzle.
Precisely. That's what makes the past continuous such a powerful tool. It allows us to not just analyze the past, but to experience it, to connect with the people and events that came before us.
So, does that mean we can keep following the mystery, Mr. Henry? Can we continue our investigation after class?
Yeah, I'm dying to decipher that code and find that hidden fortune. Maybe we can even turn it into a school project, like a historical detective story.
I love that enthusiasm. By all means, continue your investigation. Use the past continuous to reconstruct Amelia's story, analyze the code, and see where the clues lead you. Remember, the past is always open to interpretation, and your imagination is the key to unlocking its secrets.
Thanks, Mr. Henry. We'll keep you updated on our findings, and maybe even write a report in the past continuous tense to share with the class.
And who knows, maybe we'll find a real-life treasure and become famous.
Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I have no doubt you'll uncover something fascinating. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Enjoy the process of discovery, learn from the past, and let your imagination soar.
The students gather their belongings, their faces alight with excitement and the promise of continued adventure. They exchange whispers and ideas, their minds buzzing with possibilities.
Thanks again, Mr. Henry, for making grammar fun. We learned a lot, and we had a blast doing it.
Yeah, the past continuous isn't just about verb tenses anymore. It's like a magic spell that opens doors to hidden worlds.
That's the spirit. Now go forth, young explorers, and remember, the past is always waiting to be discovered, one sentence at a time.
As the students leave the classroom, the buzz of their conversation carries with it the echoes of historical whispers and the promise of future stories. The past continuous continues its journey, not just as a grammatical lesson, but as a spark of imagination that ignites curiosity and fuels the endless possibilities of learning and discovery. This conclusion provides a satisfying ending to the past continuous lesson while encouraging students to continue their exploration beyond the classroom. It emphasizes the fun and creativity inherent in the tense and inspires them to use it as a tool for storytelling, research, and personal growth. Remember, the classroom is just the starting point. The past continuous can be a passport to countless adventures, both historical and imaginative, waiting to be discovered.